Actually, I'm not.
You're not using it?
No.
Okay. So we're in the discovery phase.
After getting tea set up, I was beginning to feel like a hypocrite. I had listened to my conspiracy-minded friends and stayed away from the doctor in fear of getting my name on some national DEA pot smoker database. But I felt like my time had come, so I decided to consult with my friend Mac Lindsay, who does not smoke weed at all, and in fact attends Narcotics Anonymous meetings in Hollywood. It's always your one friend who goes to AA who has to ruin the party for everyone.
Their solution is to have government involved by passing legislation that, ultimately the state would have to license someone to dispense marijuana, and also for a patient to be, and I don't know where these doctors are that are, everybody, these special doctors, the weed doctors.
They're everywhere.
They're everywhere.
Although Mac hardly talked me into doing it, I was offered a free doctor's visit in a very upscale neighborhood of Westwood.
How do you do? My name is Mike Morris. How are you?
Nice to meet you. Good to be here.
When they get to call pot medicine, just like this sense of almost conceit, it's almost like a sense of just being able, it's medicine. It's not a drug, it's medicine.
As you do so, has your Oxycontin consumption diminished at all?
Oh, yeah.
It's a patient, you guys. All right, we'll be right there. Thanks. All right, let's go. Put that down. Let's go. Oh, hello, ma'am. How are you doing? Let us take you in next door.
Go ahead, miss. Well, if you'd like to have a seat right here, miss.
Wow.
Yeah, we do it a little bit
What
differently.
kind of dispensary is this? It looks so churchy.
Oh, we're a church-run medical marijuana dispensary. If you have any questions about the Bible, just let us know. Would you like a snack, a little munchie treat on?
Oh, sure.
Okay, help yourself there. All right, if you need more, let me know.
Say we just grow up and we don't imprison drug offenders anymore. And I think that some people have a pathology that lends to a behavior that, causes compulsive intake of substances.
Man, I am so sorry to hear about your addiction to sleeping pills and Oxycontin, but I'm glad you're off the heroin and the speed and the meth and everything else you've been doing recently, and especially the pharmaceuticals.
Just here, take this without really appropriately informing the patient as to the risks they're undertaking from the drug itself.
I can't believe your doctors had you on Paxil, Afixerol, and Prozac. Listen, marijuana can solve all your problems, and you don't even have to smoke it.
Is it your desire to get off those completely?
Absolutely.
I'm going to pretend to get you. Put that there. Just put that in and just press the button. That little button right there. There we go.
The first time. This is the hardest part of all of it, Bob.
Have you lean forward
Under
for
the
me?
magnifying glass,
Real
it might
deep breath
let you
in.
see the trichrome glands growing on the outside of the plant, because all the medicinal effect is in the THC trichomes.
Yours is a more intricate, more involved case, so we will be doing more follow-up. We have some expert opinions we need to get hold of.
Right. Okay, Doc, thanks.
All right, you're welcome.
There's one law that involves you and marijuana and says you can't do it, it's illegal.
I pity the fools.
With one little chicken scratch there, now there's an entirely different law that pertains to you and medical marijuana, and you're legal.
Oh my God, it's green.
Trying to keep the document.
So, if you like our marijuana, I think you should go home and marry me.
That I'm more into the things that it can do for me medically, as opposed to being intoxicated and being high.
Meanwhile, in the Los Angeles City Council chamber, the tides of change were riding high.
We just had a huge meeting of city workers who might lose their jobs. How about creating a revenue stream for marijuana? we need to come up with a formula so that the city gets a piece of that revenue so that we can deal with our deficit. And I'm tired of gutless politicians that always talk about the war on crime and they mix marijuana in the same mix. That's wrong and crazy.
While the hearts and minds of the people in Los Angeles seem to be evolving with the times, another battle was taking place a little over 100 miles south. California's gateway to Mexico, San Diego, not only has the highest per capita narcotic agency and military population, probably due to the proximity of Tijuana, but it also has the remnants of a red state, with many old-school staunch Republican types grasping to keep things the way they were back in the good old days. When was the last time you ever heard of the DEA, FBI, and IRS being called in for a noise/vandalism complaint? September 9th, 2009.
Chaos at Hillcrest Compassion Care.
This is a secure area for a search warrant, so I need to just basically step back, please. Thank you very much.
For no reason violating our rights.
With the federal government backing down on its prosecution of medical marijuana patients and caregivers, the people of San Diego, led by District Attorney Bonnie Dumanis, would have to come up with a new way to get rid of all the no pharmaceutical, no alcohol, no tobacco, herb-selling vigilantes.
Because we're fighting hard to keep kids from using marijuana, and if you let them in, it's going to be a difficult sell.
In reality, only a few complaints of noise and vandalism had been made by neighbors of some of the dispensaries, but instead of sending out patrol cars to try to deal with the actual complaints, they created a task force and busted 14 dispensaries and arrested over 35 people.
One by one, employees of the medical marijuana dispensary are arrested.
Help me up, I need help, my leg is busted, I need help.
Meet the Reverend Paul Cody, owner-operator of Hillcrest Compassion Care.
I am definitely a political prisoner at this point in my life. I've been manipulated and twisted and put in a situation where I have to fight for my rights. And I fear of being arrested. And today our collective has no medicine for people that are terminally ill, people that you'll never see, people that lives that are affected by the politicians that steal from law-abiding people. I ask for your support.
But because the feds lost so many court cases along the lines of the 9th and 10th Amendment and states' rights, they've now changed their tactics. Now they're coming in and getting the local, county, and city police departments to get state warrants, but the states are now becoming purely federalized and asking the feds to come in and raid the medical marijuana dispensaries that have become legal. So in truth, Obama has come out and said, oh yeah, I'm hip, I'm cool. You know, I promised to decriminalize marijuana. But now you got to jump through 100 bureaucratic hoops.
For many in San Diego, former Professor Rudy Reyes has become the face and voice of the local patients and caregivers.
My name's Rudy Reyes. I was burned in the San Diego wildfires in 2003. I use this medicine for pain management, nerve damage, antidepressant, and just in general body relief to help me keep my mind off of the issues that I deal with every day.
I was affected by the fires. I will show you injuries. Most of my body's affected. I'm hurting on a daily basis. I'm not using it for smoking purposes. I'm not using it as a drug. I'm not using anything like that. I'm using it as a tincture. I was prescribed in the hospital. The doctors are all okay with this.
I had small complications that they weren't going to be able to get around. So they eventually went to the last option, which was medical marijuana. And I'm actually prescribed in UCSD, the local big hospital, for medical marijuana as for burns.
You have a right in the state of California to consume medical marijuana for your ailments.
During the Bush years, our government must have had a secret bunker filled with advertising executives who came up with such concepts and names as Operation Enduring Freedom, the War on Terror, and 9/11. In San Diego, the local TV station was saying that 9909 was to be the luckiest day of the year.
9909 was supposed to be a day of compassion, a day of helping other people, humanity. They flipped it the other way around purposely. They attacked those they were supposed to be compassionate on. They attacked those that they were supposed to help. They didn't help us.
So how have things changed so much today
that we have a government that hates marijuana and is willing to imprison nonviolent offenders in horrible situations if they smoke this plant. Think about it, my friends. They're trying to outlaw nature. They're trying to enslave us while pushing the most dangerous drugs imaginable.
Prozac, Neurontin.
Can you tell me what they're for as you go through this?
Well, Prozac we know what's for.
Antidepressant.
Neurontin is peripheral neuropathy. Then the digestion pill, umeprazole, and a couple of naproxen is all they give me. Lamictal for seizures, and what's that one? Clonazepam for anxiety.
And each one of those drugs literally can be helped by medical marijuana.
Yeah, that's what my friend keeps telling me.
Yes, there's synthetic toxic drugs for pain, anxiety, sleep, nausea, depression, just can't compete. Think about the tens of billions of dollars that Big Pharma makes a year, with close to 20% of the population being on antidepressants, when every major study shows that marijuana absolutely destroys depression in people, and Prozac can't even prove that it has any measurable positive effect, and they have to put on the insert that it may make you commit suicide. People aren't committing suicide from smoking marijuana.
Thank you for your support. The law has been a decade old.
You have rights. You know what I mean? Prop 215 passed 13 years ago.
It's been law for over a decade. Thank you so much for your support.
Because my look, I stand out quite a bit. I deal with issues that people don't even have to deal with. But this helps my life and has maintained the quality where I live better than most burn survivors to this day. I don't have open wounds, I don't have open issues because of that.
Our nation's drug laws serve as a death sentence to hundreds of thousands of patients across the country, patients with AIDS, patients with cancer. And if you were to try to repeal Prop 215 in California, you would be issuing a death sentence to thousands of Californians who need this medicine to survive, as many have attested to today in front of you.
We're being civilly violated here in San Diego. And I've done my best to be accountable for every action that I've done. I love you.
As a final act of defiance, Hillcrest Compassion has done something that no one else in the marijuana movement has had the balls to do. Ladies and gentlemen, the first ever television commercial for marijuana. Let the party begin.
Hillcrest Compassion Care is dedicated to helping and caring for the well-being of its members in a safe and friendly environment. We do this by offering classes including cannabis growing, yoga, meditation, and veteran support groups. For more information, please give us a call at 619-291-4420.
Most deadly drug known. It will drive you totally insane and make you murder people. Switch. Our scientists have studied it. It is deadly. It causes psychotic breaks immediately. If you see anyone with this liquid, call Homeland Security immediately. Switch. Don't drink it. But whether it's Ritalin or Prozac, it doesn't matter. The studies are legion, showing that they're destroying our youth and are very, very toxic. But that's okay, because the government and its private corporations are dispensing it. And after all, they're in the business of manipulating the human mind.
The science of the brain, of understanding which chemicals can help people live what they believe to be better lives, is where we're headed. So the real question is going to be, how do we deal with that reality? We can't turn back. We can't turn back. We have to learn how to live with that reality so it causes the least possible harm and the greatest possible good.
If you develop suicidal thoughts or actions, stop taking Chantix and call your doctor right away.
But why the double standard? Why with the old line drugs like heroin and cocaine and marijuana will they spend tens of billions of dollars a year violating your rights? Because they got to have some drugs that are illegal. They got to have somebody to work in all these prisons building widgets for whack and hype.
I'm not